Recording is started. Let me double check here. Looks like that's going. Welcome to the WINGIT call security issues, April 12th, 2016. There will be no blue moon today. Since I'm a drunk and an alcoholic and recovering from all that good stuff, you know, wearing bib overalls and my wife beater shirt. Yeah, I tried that once. All I got was a shirt on until the wife went, "Really? Okay then." So went ahead and burned that little shirt real quick. No, that's just not who I am. But I got a great sense of humor. I'm waiting for my my conscience to show up here, and my conscience has not shown up yet. Well, I guess I'll just go ahead and wing it here. It's a little bit about what you think about, and some what you're not thinking about. Come on. Hello. Not yet. Just a second. Let me send a text. There's that. I'll be darned. Can't find it. Let's try this again. Uh-oh. I think I'm caught. Got it. My conscience is here. Now I can start. Thank God. So this is a security issue detail type of call. This comes from started with TNT, went to Winsome, and now it's at the WINGIT. People, stop putting in rolling chat or on the forum any information about yourself. Stop. Pull your head out of your butt, because we've got people that are trolling just for those things, and then they post it in different places. You're putting yourself at risk. Now, here's the disclaimer. Tony did it. Bill did it. I've done it several times, but now it is on a matter of record on a call directly about this. We're trying to protect people, but how can we do it when you're posting personal information? Stop it. And little tidbits will give you away. Stop it. We're not responsible. I'm not, nor anybody affiliated in the admod or administrative side of WINGIT are responsible for trying to protect you after we've told you several times, stop putting personal information in the rolling chat or little incidentals in a posting in the forum. That's some people, all they have time to do is go looking for that stuff, steal your identity, cause you headache and pain, or cyberbullying. Stop. Iko, have I missed anything?
No, it's just that you realize some people are still going to do it. That's the biggest problem. You know, how many people we got on this call?
500.
You know,
500.
Yeah.
Hold on, and we've got 1,800 on the web.
So 2,300. I guarantee you, 23 people are still going to do it, and not even realize they're doing it.
Yes, I did a disclaimer. That was my disclaimer.
Yeah, people that
Sorry.
these crooks are very, very smart, and they can, especially if they identify you as a more substantial currency holder, they can narrow down who you are and where you are, and by you drop something about what you do for a living, you drop something, you say my daughter's the star of the local soccer team, I mean, you'd be amazed at how quickly they can correlate that information and come up with a probable target. And even if they narrow it down to 5 people, that's nothing, These people are professionals. You got to realize what you're up against, and you are up against sophisticated crooks, especially with this much money at stake. And now everybody knows who needs to know about the money. It's not like it's the general public, but trust me, the guys who are looking for marks, they know all about this currency exchange, and they're figuring out ways to take advantage of it. So you really gotta pretend, if this helps you gotta pretend somebody is actually already on to you. And if you have that level of awareness, then you're going to be okay. But, you got to do what you got to do. And again, I'll go back. Daz, back in the TNT forum, has talked about this extensively. And it's really great information and really great recommendations. And if you got access to the forum, go read them. If you don't, I'm sure you know somebody who does. Get them to print it out and email it to you. It's really is worthwhile stuff, and it's not paranoia. It's not silliness. Daz is coming from a place of genuine concern and really put a lot of thought into these personal security issues. So, I hope everybody can hear that.
Now, I want to say this. We all have, well, let me rephrase that. Some of us have bigger hearts than the other, and we just want to help. And this is where it gets us in trouble, and we have to use great discernment. Let me say this. In rolling chat a couple of days ago, how can I put this? Somebody came in and played to the heartstrings of the people in rolling chat, and it was a total facade. And to watch people, what they were doing and saying, it broke my heart, because I knew, I could see what people were falling for, and I happened to, and I wasn't told about it. I happened to just watch it, and I'm going, wait a minute, no. And I was watching what people were at, because I'm not going to out the person, but it was in my own rolling chat room that this happened. And halfway through this, or actually I waited till it was over, and I sent the person a PM, and I said, way to go. Just, I'm not going to out you. But it was just people's good hearts showed, and also how it puts us at risk for security issues. Now, when all this goes down, and this ties in with security, you pay for what you get. If you're going to have a lot of money, and we've talked about certain levels, you're going to need some type of security. And one of the things that's most important, paramount, first on the list, is cybersecurity. Everything's digital now. We must protect ourselves at all cost. The bank can only do so much, and the term loose lips sink a ship well also applies for cyber stalking and things like that. I'm going to try to be a black hole in the water. Don't know how well it might take a while, but you can sanitize yourself to a point. But listen to your security people about cyber stalking, cyber bullying, and try to protect yourself as best as possible. I'll stop there, and I'll go back to my conscience again. Michael?
I don't know. Well, I don't know what else to add. I wonder if questions might help.
Oh, yeah, star 2 to raise your hand. Star 2 to raise your hand. This is...
Because chances are somebody asking a question, there's going to be at least 50 people with the same question in this size crowd.
Yep.
I mean, I just got to tell you guys, having done business in Manhattan for 30 years, you can't believe the level of sophistication of con artists in that city. I mean, you cannot believe it. There was a guy, very, very clean cut, good looking guy, who pushed a stroller around Midtown with a lifelike dummy of a baby asleep. I mean, you couldn't tell this was a dummy. And he would get into conversations with out-of-towners, and while they were bending over, oohing and ahhing at the baby, he picked their pocket. And he had a great thing going, but finally ran into a sting operation in Midtown around Times Square. But I just, you can get anybody, even a smart person, even a bright person, even somebody on guard. They figure out ways to get around, just to get around your own perceptions, and it really is. It's just amazing. And every time they bust somebody for some creative thing like that, somebody else comes up with something new. I mean, that's. In some ways, I mean, New Yorkers, they joke about stuff like that because they're surrounded by it every day. But you're going to be amazed at the kind of scam artists and gigolos and I don't know what you call a female gigolo. I guess you call her a gigolo or something. But
gold diggers, gold digger,
gold diggers. That's it. That's the term. You are going to be amazed at what comes out of the woodwork. And you just have to have a healthy skepticism. You really do. You don't want to shut yourself off, anything like that. I'm not even suggesting anything near that. But you gotta take it. You gotta up your game a bit. And there are coaches out there who will teach you all this stuff too. They'll help you see the easier ones. But I got to tell you, if Cody DePavlu comes up and asks me out for a date, I'm probably going to say yes.
Absolutely. Well, let us go to our first caller, Vallejo, California, 707. Come on down.
Hello, is that me?
Yep, that's you. Go ahead, ma'am.
Hi, Jerry. How are you today?
Aggravated.
Well, I wouldn't say have a blue moon, but I heard earlier that you're restricting yourself from your favorite beverage. So maybe after all this is over, you could have it.
Probably. I'm exasperated because we've had many talks about this, and my heart goes out to these people. Protect yourself. So I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm getting on my soapbox, and I need to step off.
But no, it's really important that you and ICO and everyone everyone that's on your call to really stress the importance of security. I'm coming from that middle range income, not lower, not higher, just, middle of the road. And we don't think about those things because, like you said, we fly kind of under the radar. We go to work, we do what we need to do, and that's it. So we don't, we hear about security as far as on the news, burglaries, things of that nature. But you're right, as our income levels increase, we need to be aware of our surroundings. We need to be aware of, like you said, cybersecurity. So I definitely understand that. My question is kind of like a follow-up to your conversation yesterday regarding the structured payout. I just want to get a clarification to make sure that I heard it correctly. I got the age limit of 60 and above 2 years, under 65 years. Now, originally they were saying there was going to be a cap, whether that's $500 million or $1 billion, and then the structured settlement kicks in. I just want clarification. Is that the same, or is it going to be the structured payout based on your total amount that you're going to receive that will be in the structured settlement?
Okay, we're getting a little bit off topic here. I'll indulge this, but this is about security. So I've heard there isn't a cap now, because if you get 5% of your total, and your total is, and we'll just throw a figure out there, say is $4 or $5 billion. So what's 5% of that? It's well over $500 million. And they're going to give you access to that amount. So does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. And I want to thank you, and I'm sorry I didn't want to go off topic, but thank you very much.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
So next, this person always gets in here, Mr. B on the web. Come on down.
Hey, Jerry, thank you for letting me on. Iko, you said that there's people that will train you on being able to spot flim-flam people. Is there any way that you can put it up on the forum so that we know who to contact?
No, because you'll have to research it in your own area. I know metropolitan big city police departments often do seminars like that. If you call the Bunko Squad,
right,
in any big city, if they don't do it, they'll recommend people in the area. That's probably a good place to start. And I'm sure if you Google it, you're gonna find somebody. But it's there's nothing like local knowledge,
right,
because different areas of the country are susceptible to different things. And I'll just throw one out. A bogus minister shows up and does a seminar or something like that, and gets people to contribute a bunch of money at that seminar, and then all of a sudden he's gone. That would be something you'd find in the Bible Belt. You wouldn't find that up in North Jersey, in Jersey City. You'd find something else. So local knowledge is important, but I that's where I would start. I'd call the police department and basically let them know. And also, it doesn't hurt to have your local police department know that. Let me see if I want to say this. I think this is okay to say. It doesn't hurt to have your local police department know you're a high wealth individual. And maybe you just moved into the area, something like that. Most police are honest. You're going to get a bad egg here and there, but usually it's a good idea to get acquainted with the local force. Find out what the response time is to your home. Same thing with the fire department. A well-placed donation often knocks response times in half. yeah, so that's what I would do. I would just find out who's in your area. I have no doubt there are people who do this on a national level too. But scams in LA would be different from scams in Midtown Manhattan. Does that help?
Yeah, it does. It helps a lot.
Okay.
If I can, second question. On the cards, you've said a couple of times, both of you, that there's a possibility we're going to get debit cards to our accounts. Now, is there any way not to get a debit card and just to get a plain credit card with no ID marker on it?
No, that's not going to happen. They're all going to have chips. They got to be, no,
the chips are here to stay. But remember, you're a wealthy person now. You can tell the bank what you want, and they'll try to get as close to it as they can without obviously breaking the laws and regulations and banking regulations. The thing, what I'm doing with my debit card is, I've got a separate account. Okay, it's my we'll call a daily account. And the only one who can transfer money out of my big account into that daily account is my wealth manager. He's the only one in the entire bank. And I'm giving him a special phone to boot. He's gonna have a secure phone that's part of a whole security thing that I'm setting up. So I will call him on an encrypted phone. Number one. Two, we'll have just a simple password set up, and I'll say, Bob, I'm going watch shopping today, and I'm gonna probably spend $4 or $5 grand on a Breitling Mariners watch. So would you flag the account just for today only, that it's okay to spend $5 grand out of that account? And that's how they do it. And then it goes back to the normal $1,000, which when you're super wealthy, you're using your credit cards. You got accounts set up everywhere. You're probably going to have an accountant paying your monthly bills, things like that. You don't even have to worry about stuff like that. So it's not like you don't need a lot of cash, even when you've got a huge income. Cash is not necessary anymore. And I know a lot of people are worried about, going to an all digital economy, but guys, it's coming. And at the end of the day, it's going to be safer for all of us. That's my belief. It's not about tracking us. Okay? A cashless society is not about tracking us. It's about being safe and being transparent, so that they can track the bad guys. And they'll have plenty to do tracking the bad guys. They won't have to worry about us good guys.
I want to say this. If you look on the internet, you can find some good-looking wallets that are RFID proof. Somebody can't walk up with a little scanner close to you. And you can even they got little credit card sleeves you can put your credit cards in to protect the chip and the magnetic strip. So, you've seen you may or may not have seen it. A guy who's stand within 3 feet of you, sometimes 5 feet, going, "Oh, yeah, I've got your credit card." Really? No, you don't. Yeah, let me tell you everything about it. Pulls it up on his laptop with a program. Oh my God. And all because you didn't have that little protective sleeve in your wallet. Hell, you can even use, you ever seen those little high-end business card metal containers that holds a couple, you don't want to be impressive. Here, let me flip this out for you, hand you a business card. It's all metal. Stick them in one of those. It's a little more bulky, but they also have a little cloth sleeve that's, I guess, got the copper wiring in it that helps protect your credit cards and other things in there. So we're going to take our next caller. Sherman, Texas, 903. Come on down.
Hey, Jerry. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm better. How are you doing?
Did any of that grapefruit-sized hail hit you on the head last night?
That's probably why I'm aggravated today.
Man, that would have done more than aggravate me. Regarding Iko's comment about a cricket phone, Iko, don't do the cricket phone. That is not safe at all. If you're going to give your banker, wealth manager, a special phone, go with just a plain old track phone.
No, he said encrypted.
Oh, I thought you said cricket.
I'm going to send you some Q-tips and peroxide.
Thank you so much. You don't know how much you just said right there.
Listen, guys, there's a product called the Black. There's a product called the Black phone. If you Google
and it's $50,000.
Yes,
well,
it is.
That depends on what level of service you're getting. It's a Virtu is what it is, and Tony talked about it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's true. Okay. I see Iko's ahead of me on that scale, but I need to say something to the people in Rolling Chat and on the other forums that I participate in at their level. If you are in Rolling Chat and you are through with that forum, be sure you go up to the log out, click yourself out, log out completely, go up to the URL that addresses that particular forum, close that out, close your browser, because if you do not, you are leaving your back door open to these trolls that can come in and just basically log into your laptop. I'm not going to say iPad because I use an iPad, but they can log into where you left off, and it is extremely dangerous not to do that. And I know you think just because you click and go somewhere else that you're home free. You are not. That is super.
So if you've got multiple tabs open, close them all.
Exactly.
All right. Anything else, ma'am?
Yes, sir. One more thing.
Worth it.
One more thing. Those lead-lined wallets and purses are good. They are appearing in places like Dillard's, in normal malls. But in lieu of doing that, if you will just take simple aluminum foil and wrap it around your debit card or your credit cards, that offers you a modicum of protection. Not a lot, but it does put a barrier.
No, the ultimate protection, but that's ugly. They've got these little cards, so these sleeves they sell on the internet that will do the same thing, and they've got wallets. You can do it either way.
I know it's ugly, Jerry, but some men aren't interested in aesthetics. They're purely practical, and they're going to go for the cheapest fix.
Here.
That's all I'm going to say. Thank you so much.
Right.
Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, Jerry, you know what else? If you all know Elmer, and I'm sure a lot of you have read his stuff, one of his standard jokes these days is post-RV. He's going to start a designer tinfoil hat company that basically publishes just designs that you can then fold your own tinfoil hat out of.
Absolutely.
That's his solution to all this.
There you go.
It's a hobby, it's a craft, and it's very grounding, very centering, and you protect.
There you go. Get some of that heavy-duty commercial-grade tin foil and a hot glue gun. Oh, my God, low overhead, high profit.
Yep.
All right, here we go. High Point, North Carolina, 336. Come on down. Turn your speaker down.
Hello?
Feedback. Yep, can you hear me?
Jerry, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Well, imagine that. My brother from another mother.
There you go.
I want to thank you fellas for everything you've done, everything you've said. I started out in this kind of as a get rich, and I find myself sitting on the back porch watching the sun go down, crying like a baby of the blessing we're about to embark upon. I don't have a whole lot to say other than that. I know that you've gone through a lot. But Jerry, you're gonna have to go back to the Blue Moon. I went from Michelob Ultra to drinking Blue Moon with you. Don't tell me I got to go back to Ultra.
Nope. No. Absolutely not. No, I decided at this particular call to take a break to maintain my. There's a lot of feedback there.
Well, I'll let you go. Like I said, I appreciate you all. God bless you. I hope that our paths cross in the near future. And again, thanks for everything you've done. I know you don't. Sometimes it don't come across that way, and we all have those days. But brighter days are on the horizon.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, sir.
Love you, brothers.
Love you all too. Fayetteville, North Carolina, 910. Come on down.
Hi, Jerry. Hi, Iko. Thank you for taking my call. The question I have is in regards to getting an additional phone, just so I can give it to the bank saying this is my dedicated line that when you can talk to me only. Would it be advisable if I go to the same phone provider that I have and just ask for an additional line with a phone number and only I have that? Or do I really need to go and get another provider?
No, I'd stick with them. But let me say this about your wealth manager. They're going to take care of you, but here's going to be my statement to my wealth manager. The first time that I try to get a hold of you and I can't get a hold of you will be the last time that I try to get a hold of you. And if I try to call and the secretary says, well, he's not available, he's on another phone call, there's another reason to say, I'll be finding me another wealth manager. Because if you've got that much money, and there's going to be a lot of us, and you may not like the first wealth manager because you may not gel with them. It's all about personality and things like that. And I like to be up front. And what do I expect out of them? Things like that.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Also, if you want, my personal opinion is the bank, those people need to pay for an encrypted phone, but if you want to make absolutely sure that it's encrypted or whatever else, then you pay for it. It's not like you're going to not have the money, but it'll be your choice.
Well, I know that once this RV goes and I do exchange, one of the things that I'm looking into is like that privacy abroad where I can really go, like Dead Tar Heel will say, get hidden. And all my information is in that area.
I think there's going to be better. I think you can find better. Listen to your cybersecurity people.
Okay. Now, if it's okay, I have one more question.
Okay.
When I exchanged, I've given one of my sons a gift of, just 1 million of a certain currency, which will help him because now he's going on number 4 child. One of the things that I want to do since I hold it is I have 2 sons that live in the same area, and instead of having my son buy their own house, I wanted to buy the houses for both of them and put it under a trust. That way it's protected. But my concern is people that they know, friends that they know, they're going to see them moving into this new house. Mom will be wherever I'm going to be. And I'm not worried about me, but I'm kind of worried about them. How can I help them to say, you know what, it's either a rental or my mom got this or something that would just take the highlight away from them?
Move away from the area. Move away from the area.
For me, I will move. For me, I'm moving. I'm traveling, so I can go from house to house. But my 2 sons have already determined they're going to move. They're going to stay within the same area, but at a different location. But they still have friends and church members that they're going to be close to. So I'm trying to figure out how do I take the highlight away from them without question. And I'm hitting a
that's a long conversation, and I'm trying to get in as many people as possible. Okay.
Okay.
Instead of buying it outright, why don't you rent to buy and then see how it goes? Because you have many options on rent to buy. Okay.
That's a good idea. Thank you. I didn't look into that one. Thank you.
All right. Bye. Let us go down here to our anonymous caller. Hell, we might have a special guest. Who knows? Hello, Anonymous. Go ahead.
Is that me?
That is you.
Just wanted to say that, as an example, I dial in with a *67 because phone calls or the teleconferences record your telephone numbers, and your telephone numbers are a huge way to find out who you are and to get your personal information. So just wanted to recommend that when people need to be careful dialing into some of the calls, and I just do that to make sure that I stay anonymous.
And you're exactly right.
Because the numbers, whether it's whoever's call it is, those numbers also go into a database. They are recorded, and who knows who has access to them, and who knows what free conference call is doing with them. They could be selling those numbers to people. So.
Sure. Do you have a question?
No, I just wanted to make that comment.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Dayton, Ohio, 937. Come on down.
Hello, gentlemen. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. Any feedback or anything? So I'm on a speakerphone.
No, yours is great.
Excellent. Jerry, I emailed you earlier today, or emailed your site, and she said she's going to get the email in front of you, but since it seems like you're not going to read from those, I just thought I'd call in and ask a question.
Hold on here. Let me go sign into it. I've been kind of busy today.
No problem. You want me to wait for you to do that?
Yeah, it won't take but just a second. I just have to remember what it is.
In the meantime, Iko seems like a gentleman I'd like to get to know, to learn some more things in the future. If you want to give him my phone number, and if he feels comfortable getting a hold of me, I'd love to speak to him on a personal basis sometime in the future.
What time did you send it in?
It was this morning. I'm not sure
Around
exactly
10?
what time. Yeah, something like that.
Hello, Jerry. First off, let me thank you. Is that it?
Yes, that's correct.
His very logical response was, how would these people know where the exchange centers are, and if they all knew about the RV, why don't they just spend a few $100s, purchase their own currency, therefore eliminate the need to use unlawful methods to acquire money? Well, I hate to say this, but your brother's an idiot, because there's people out there who, rather than do that and spend that money, would rather just rob you.
But why? I mean, why would they take the risk of possibly, being arrested in the future?
Why do people rob banks? Because they can.
Some people do it out of necessity, I think, but I don't know. I thought it was sort of a logical question myself. Why wouldn't they just go ahead and spend a couple $100, especially on the Zim, and now become a multimillionaire, billionaire, and not have to worry about stealing from other people?
Well, because they can. That's my simplest answer to you.
Okay. Well, I understand that then. I'm just not one of those kind of people, I guess.
I have a more complicated explanation for it.
Sure, I'd love to hear it.
We used to have a joke. I used to be a card carrying hippie back in the '60s, and back then everybody wanted to form these communes, and they sounded great when you talk about them. You have all these plans, buy a piece of land, invite a bunch of people, and that was your first mistake. As soon as you plug people into a plan, it goes haywire. There's no explaining human behavior. There's just no explaining it. And I didn't catch it. I didn't catch what the body of your message to Jerry was, but I can guess at it. It's everybody has their own reality and their own way of dealing with it. And for whatever reason, I guess that the person, the subject of your email here, that's how they can handle it. That's how they can deal with it. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just human nature, and everybody's different. That's all there is to it. Some people are smart, some people are dumb, some people are crazy, some people are geniuses. It's confounding, is what it is. But
you think those kind of people that? I'm sorry, Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I was just going to say one more thing. I know a hedge fund manager, one of the top 10 hedge funds in the country, maybe even in the world. He's not buying currency. He's convinced that he's figured out a way to make billions off of other people who will become rich from this. Not illegal either. They've come up with a whole new plan, a whole new way of doing. It's not really a hedge fund, and of course he won't explain it to me because he feels it's top secret and he doesn't want to give it away. But we all know now. If you get 10, 100 trillion notes, I don't care what fancy program you've come up with, man. Your hedge fund is like kindergarten compared to that profit margin. But he's locked into that. He is locked into that plan. He and his partners are going to do that plan. They're going to become billionaires, and you can't talk to them. So, just another example of human behavior. People get something in their head, and that's how it's going to be.
Okay.
So you think? Okay. Yeah. I understand. You need to move on, but yeah, Eiko, I would like to talk to you sometime in the future. You sound like a gentleman I could learn a lot from. So if you ever feel like calling me, Jerry can give you my phone number. You're more than welcome to call me.
Okay. I will do it post RV. I will not do it pre RV. That's all.
That'll be fine, sir.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
So we're going to a place I just left 2 weeks ago, Montgomery, Alabama, 334. Come on down.
Hello. Hope everybody's doing well. Listen, the question I had is, when you do the exchange, before you leave the bank, should you have your money insured with Lloyd's of London or LifeLock or something before you walk out of that bank to keep some kind of cipher?
You got to understand, Lloyd's of London is owned by the PTBs, the Rothschilds, and I think that the banks are going to have enough liquidity to cover for a while. You're going to have time to do that. Ask around after the fact, but Lloyd's of London, they're expensive, very expensive.
Well, I mean, if we've got a lot of money, it'd be a lot of money to lose if we didn't have some kind of security. I just didn't know whether we needed something before we walk away from that bank, saying our money is safe right there and get it moved around.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
If everybody did the same thing, and let's just use a figure here, say that everybody many individuals insured their money and they were worth, hundreds of billions of dollars, and they all hit at the same time when the bank did something, do you think they would have the money to cover that?
I think so. Would.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, what's the chance of all that happening all at one time? There's very little chance that would actually happen at one time, though. Really.
Well, there's your answer. If you're insuring it against a loss and everybody else is doing the same thing, and the bank goes belly up, and they all have Lloyd's of London, how many people are going to get all of their money covered, or are they going to say, you know what, because it all happened, we're going to give you 10 or 20 cents on the dollar, if even that much?
So
that's just my. Go ahead.
So what do you suggest then when we leave the bank? As far as our money, so we got 80 million, 100 million in there, walk away, and hopefully no cyber people get into it before we can get back and do something with it?
The bank is going to have that under control. That's what this new system is about.
Okay. For a certain length of time, or from then on, or?
I'm thinking from then on, but my conscience will let me know here in a second.
Yeah, this is one of those. This is one of those new game areas of concern that are going to be different than how things used to be done. I've been told we don't have to. This is level 2 concern for us. Things like insuring our accounts, worrying about banks going under, worrying about whatever the next label of a buy-in is or a bailout. They're years down the road from the exchange. For a good while, banks are going to be very flush with cash, and the world's going to go to an asset-backed system. It's going to take time for all of that to reach parity, so where everybody's equal. And then that's where the new games, meaning deceptions, scams, etc., that's going to be the new jump-off point. And it's going to take a long time to develop the next generation of scams. So we're all okay for the time being, and we're all going to be able to follow the new developments and weigh the new option. There's just, I'll just say it. There's no, yes, you want to be concerned, but there's no reason to panic. It's like a new car. The thing's going to work flawlessly for a few years, and then maybe something's going to come up, and maybe when it's 10 years old, maybe the transmission's going to go. But in the meantime, you got a new car for a while, and it's going to be good for at least 50,000 or 100,000 miles, and then you got to start worrying about it. I know there's been a lot of talk over the years, in the TNT family, about this subject, but we really do have to wait now and see what the new game is and find out what the new rules are, because it's going to be a very different world financially. Well, it's going to be a different world in every way, but financially, it's really going to be different. We just got to sit back and let it unfold.
Okay, I appreciate your answer.
Yep. Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Fort Smith, Arkansas, 479. Come on down.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. I just wanted to offer an option on learning about security that goes along with Iko's story about the baby, using that to draw people in. If you watch the movie that Will Smith came out with last year, it's called Focus. It's a very, very good movie that goes over tons of things like that, and it will really open you up to seeing how they look at you as a target. And a lot of people don't want to read something, but they may watch something. And I know you're in a hurry today, so that's just something I wanted to add.
Thank you, ma'am. Yep, got 10 minutes left before we're done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Little Rock, Arkansas, 501. Come on down.
Hello. I was just wondering about the Zim. I don't hear anybody much talking about the Zim and what it might cash in for.
No dates, no rates. Sorry.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Columbus, Mississippi, 662. Come on down.
Hey, Jerry. Thanks
Yes,
for
ma'am.
taking my call. I'd like to talk about a security thing that happened to me on the WINGIT call. I was one of the ones at the very beginning that could not sign in. And 111, so precious, going to help me get into the chat. So she said, okay, you're going to have to do a new email address, a new ID name, and all of this stuff. So I did that, and she said I would recommend a Gmail account. Okay, so I used a dormant Gmail account, and I got in for a length of time. Well, my Mac, and I love the Mac, and it was the first time in years that I've ever had a problem with the Mac as far as malware or whatever. Well, when I called a techie to take care of my Mac, we had to wipe out the history, okay? So when I went back to get my Gmail account taken care of, someone, and then all this coincided with me being banned on the WINGIT chat room, and there was a connection. I connected the dots days later. And when I tried to get my Gmail account to come up, I realized I had been hacked. There was someone else from China that had control of my Gmail account, and at the same time, 111 was telling me that my account was kind of in the same ballpark as Kenny's or whatever. I don't have the verbiage to describe it, and that's why I was banned. So I have concluded that even though I complied and used a Gmail account, that was the account that caused me the trouble, not only with my computer, but with the WINGIT home chat. So consequently, I spent like 4 hours with my Mac people trying to help me get this done. Now, of course, Gmail does not have an 800 number where you can go and try to get kind of things fixed out. So, yes, indeed, someone on all of these chats. Now, I did not have a trouble on Ransom. I did not have any trouble, knock on wood, with TNT. But for some reason, I cannot. I even tried to get an Outlook account, an AT&T. I've got all that, a new email stuff, so I could go into y'all's chat room to no avail. And I'm not complaining because thank God for these calls and so forth. But I'm just saying this is a real thing that's happening, and it actually happened through my Gmail, and I just wanted to throw that out there.
Thank you, ma'am. You just show stranger things happen. My apologies for you, what happened to you.
Well, that's okay, and you've got a wonderful helper there with 111. She was very, very precious and tried, but we could not make it happen. And I think they just concluded that somehow or another my IP, I don't know what you call it, was associated with a troll or something. And I'm not complaining. I'm just throwing that out there, and I appreciate you.
All right, ma'am.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Rockstar, you want to wrap it up? Words of wisdom
I do have a closing statement. guys, we're entering a new realm. You could liken it to, a lot of these things you're thinking, oh, that's a pain in the neck. I don't want to do that. I don't have to worry about that. I'm not going to be the one getting ripped off, etc. But, if you moved to an island and the only way to get back and forth was you had to take the ferry, at first the ferry's kind of an inconvenience. You got to add another 45 minutes to whatever trip you're taking over to get over to the mainland to do whatever you need to do. But after a time, you find out that the ferry ride, if it's a beautiful day, it's pleasant to be out on the water. You bump into people who live on the other side of the island you don't usually get to see. It becomes woven into the fabric of your daily life. And a lot of these things that we're talking about, that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to weave these things into a new way of running your daily life, and they're going to be fine. And they're for good reason, because when part of being a steward of this money is a new level of awareness, a new way of thinking, a new way of choosing your friends. I mean, the list goes on, but you'll get used to it. So don't look at it. If you look at it as a chore or a pain in the ass from the get-go, it's going to remain that way. If you look at it as this is, this is what I got to do now every day. It's just part of what I do. It's going to be a lot easier to get these things done and to be open to them and hear people when they suggest you got to do A, B, and C. So I hope this call is a help. It really is a very important aspect to our new lives, and like it or not, security is going to be part of it. So I guess that's all I got to say.
Call me immediately after the call ends. All right, here we go, troopers. My apologies if I offended someone at the very beginning. It's just that it's such a great concern, because people are we're all big-hearted. Even I am, and even the wifer's going, stop talking. You're telling too much. People know too much. Don't tell this. Don't tell that. I catch it on my end because I want to help. I'm a fixer. What else? I'm a builder. That's just in my general nature. And from that is the giving side of me. And I want to help everybody. Not everybody has honorable intentions like I do. So that's why I was a little testy and telling people pull their head out of their butt at the very beginning. It's the only way how I could express that wasn't a political time, and you just needed to hear it like it is. So, sorry. Anyway, that's it for the call. Let me stop the recording, go through the process here, since my computer